You all need to clothe yourselves with Christ. Because, look at me. I'm 39 and still single. Not 30, I keep saying 39. I said that for so long. I'm 40 now. I'm 40. It appears as if though they prosper to take away everything from me. It does. But bottom line is I'm bespoke to someone. If at all it would take this long for a consecrated woman to ultimately be put together with a man. It says that if it was not for like over a decade of praying and fasting and hiding yourself in the sleeve of Christ. And still to this day. I don't know why they insist on me. I don't know. All it would take is one day with me for them to manifest. Because you cannot fast and pray so much and have someone that's not demon possessed manifest on you. They inevitably manifest, be they women or men. They keep manifesting. My cousin manifested demons trying to give me a job, and she couldn't help but manifest. They can't last. Mo molo o tukang o kotsi wa the Holy Spirit. Moya o halelang haba o khone. Ba ipitsa bazalwane mara ba tsubile matekwane. Haba o khone. And how fast are most so baka se khone ho bloma in your presence. Mara utiba hasiku utiba mo. So they will keep on sending you spells upon spells, things against upon the batleng ba ntse ba go sendela dinthoman. Tse dingata fela dinoga di scorpio ne a ke tsebe whatever e ba isenda ba tlo isenda di ritual ba tla di etsa ba di etsolle ba tlhokofela like the prophets of Baal ntse ba ikata trying to curse, trying to bring down a sacrifice from their ugly god. They will fail, but that spiritual war is the thing that ultimately pierces you through on the other side to meet a man o sa tawang o ka se go rabazeng just cause o latlhegetswe ke mosebetsi o ka se tsweng ko wena just because you aren't able to pay your way anymore o ka se go kobeng ntlong ya hae ha le bile le a disagreement. A man that will be mature enough, like I said earlier, monna wa khona o kwata mosadi wa khona o kwata ka ofela ra kwata ke. We all have emotions, but there is a way to deal with emotions. You don't just go and kick a person out of a house because you fought. You slam the door and you sleep in the bedroom, or you sleep in different rooms, or you, I don't know, take a walk, take a drive. But you don't kick a person out. You sit on opposite sides of the dinner table. You don't hold hands. Maybe you when you greet, if you greet at all. But you don't tell a woman, get out of my car. You don't tell a woman, get out of my house. That is a Christian husband. He's allowed to be upset and maybe bang the door when he is walking out the room, but he's not allowed to kick you out the house. He gets that. There is an element of self-restraint in a godly man. They understand what is appropriate and what isn't. Indota is not going to leave a woman out on a limb njefela drop her off in the middle of the N1 highway and then drive off on Samuzos born. Just because you fought. They will leave you whole dangerous because you fought. What the heck? Gender-based violence. No scruples. They clap back at women. They are rude. They are verbally abusive, emotionally, physically. And on top of that, they pride themselves in the fact that you can't even afford tampons. They say if only you had accommodated me, you wouldn't be struggling with that kind of want. Wow. When a man prides themselves in that level of sorrow in a woman's life, when he's proud, there's a guy from MTN actually that asked me out, that prided himself in the fact that, if you had come at me, I would have pulled strings for you. Yeah, that's not a man. A man that's going to be happy that a woman is suffering because you rejected him once, that is not a man. That is not a man. And it is especially not a man when he can lay his hands on you, especially when you're not even his girlfriend. It is not a man when upon testing positive for HIV, he then determines to spread it all over South Africa. That is not a man. That is not a man. A godly man is responsible with whatever under heaven is the sorrow of his soul. If he tests positive for HIV and he's single, he will go to the Lord to seek his face for a wife that's going to understand him with his status. But he doesn't try to take a woman anyway, kankani. He doesn't try to take a woman anyway, angamfuni. He does not conceal his status and shock her and surprise her only once they're married that, ooh, baby, actually, guess what? I'm HIV positive. A godly man will be upfront, like, what do you call this? I'm honest. The first time you talk that, look, I tested positive for HIV because I was a fornicator. Would you be prepared to be with me despite the illness? These are the options. Give a woman an option as to whether or not she's okay with it. Instead of forced. Why the world forced to everything in their stride, including their 5 ex-wives. and 20,000 babies all over these streets of Johannesburg, some of whom he's not even paying child maintenance for. The guy wa kwa America, maintenance that he did not acknowledge are his. He doesn't care. They just keep going back to the drawing board, and then when you get frustrated with God, on somebody, Lord, why have you left me in this position? They're like, I mean, really, Karabo, what's your God doing for you? Let me buy you tampons. Whoa. God Almighty gave me tampons. I scratched for them in bags and everything, we get it. And the reason why I even asked to scratch for them in bags is because human beings around me are sinful. They are the problem, not so much God. The provision that could have been given me, people blocked it from coming my way. However, understand that on the day when there are no more tampons for me to scratch in any bags, and when there are no longer any painkillers for me to have during my period, that's when God will avail miraculously yet more provision. It's just gonna, like clockwork, it's happened that way. Just because it's like some provision that came through to me, if it got tata. Like, yo, so you can understand. Like, I've had no money, right? No donations, nothing. I have a skincare routine. I'm acne prone. I bet you can tell. Look at that. That's like an acne scar, whatnot. I'm acne prone on my face. So really, if I can limit acne, I can limit hyperpigmentation. God knows I'm acne prone, but I did coin a skincare routine that keeps them at bay even around my period, like right now. And that is under threat because my products are running out. One of my most efficacious acne treatments is this like cream that I use called Omni Gold. That is a combination of kojic acid and vitamin C. It has kept my skin at bay, and it is also fading my hyperpigmentation. It has made sure that I don't have to use benzoyl peroxide because I believe benzoyl peroxide is quite aging. It's cheap. It costs 65 rands at Chinatown. This power miracle cream called Omni Gold is only 65 rands. And one little gomaki can last you a month. That's how long I have not had access to money because I ran out of Omni Gold. Lo and behold, the other day I was scratching through my mom's cupboards looking for grandpa because I had a headache. She was away on holiday or whatever. And I found Omni Gold just chilling there. I abandoned Nile. She didn't want to use it. We see Lefela. It was just gathering dust. She was not using it, but it was just left there. And innately it's kaufel. It is so old. It had been chilling there and just like gathering dust for so long and sitting in one position on its side for so long that by the time I opened it, you know, when a product has been chilling on the side, the product then like sort of kind of, thanks to gravity, leans over to that side. The cream had fallen. Even though it's very viscose, it's quite thick. It had fallen down to the side where it is that it had been placed, evidencing that this cream was chilling in that wardrobe for so long, despite being as thick as it is, as viscose as it is, that the contents went down over like months until ultimately they rested down below at a certain place. It's also slightly harder than the one that you would buy at the store, evidencing that it's been chilling there for like months, but it's still the same chemical composition. It's the same product, just old. It was not being used, and it was never going to be used. I had run out, and if I did not have it to replenish, that I might take care of my skin, to eradicate acne or keep it at bay at least, I was going to break out in this month because I did not have Omni Gold. It literally is keeping my pimples at bay. I was going to break out, and God gave me an old one. We get it. It's a little bit thicker, not thicker, but hard in consistency because it's been chilling more for months, but it is still nonetheless Omni Gold, and I've been using it for the past 4 days now, and my skin is maintained. I'm not breaking out. I'm maintained. I'm kept. Just when I run out of stuff, it miraculously finds its way to me. That's what I'm getting at. Just when I run out of stuff. And the way that I find it is not always through money. It's not always through me getting a donation, somebody deciding to help me along. Sometimes it is me scratching around for stuff because I'm being made to be like a scavenger. Do you understand? Yeah. Until I find that which is the exact thing that I absolutely need. I scratched and I found pain meds. But it's not really pain meds, it's alpha lipoic acid. And it made sure that I don't have to deal with all that horrible, treacherous pain of my period in this period cycle. I was out of tampons. When I got my period, I was so sad. I was so sad because I was like, but God, I thought you were going to help me along with a donation or something before my period so I could go and buy tampons. And I scratched around all over the show. And I found enough tampons to last me for this period cycle. 1 more month. We'll see what happens then. Tomorrow will worry about itself. That's the Bible. The pagans need these things. God provided them in an unorthodox fashion, but they were there. My Omni Gold is here. My painkillers are here. So too are my tampons. Here. But I did not get them fresh out the box. This time around, I had to scratch around the house for them. The scratching as well. The Bible says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Before you start to blame God for not being there for you, check to see if God has not placed food under a rock for you. Before you start to blame God for not providing food for you, start to see if God has not left a sandwich behind a rock. Before you say that Jesus does not care about your skin and how much you just keep on breaking out into acne, scratch around and see if he's not provided Omnigold. Before you say Christ, but you don't care that I've got these hard knock period pains, scratch around to see if you can't find something and then interrogate on the internet if at all it can work on pain. Upon discovering that it's an anticoagulant and an anti-inflammatory, test it, and then when the pain goes away, realize that God provided, just not in the way that you thought. Do not be quick to accuse God of stuff, but be quick to accuse man. Be quick to recognize that every time stuff falls apart, there is always some human being that is responsible for not honoring God, and so you're in trouble for a season. You're in trouble for a season. Humanity is the one that refuses to give you food when you are hungry, the one that refuses to give you clothes when you are naked, the one that refuses you to visit you when you are sick or in prison, and the one that refuses to give you hospitality when you need somebody to stay, somewhere to stay. Humanity is the one that withholds water from you when you are thirsty. But God will be the one to, even though it is not by the means that you expected, miraculously provide water when you are thirsty, miraculously provide food when you are hungry, miraculously provide covering clothing for you when you are naked, miraculously provide for you medication when you are in hospital, and when you are sick, he will be the one to minister to you through his angels. He will be the one to invite you into his house when you need hospitality. You just need to stop underestimating the power of God in loving you when nobody else is. You just need to search around. I literally have never run out of anything I needed, even though I have been getting provided for these days as like one little drop of water on my tongue when I'm thirsty, just enough for the day. It's been hard. I've been getting provided for just enough for the day, but nonetheless enough. I have been getting everything I need, and I am expected, when I was able to find tampons and painkillers and skin cream, to turn over to a guy, because next month I'm not going to have skin cream, next month I'm not going to have tampons, and next month I'm not going to have painkillers. Well, according to God, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Did I not provide water for you gushing out of a rock? Only look at the method of provision by God in the wilderness. What do you call this? Manna. Indeed, it rightly rhymes with Hannah, because Hannah was given manna eventually. Manna fell from heaven and they ate. So too did water gush out of a rock when they were thirsty. The provision of God might not necessarily be through a spring of water in the desert where you're at to give you water. Sometimes it is so miraculous as, like I said, water gushing out of a rock. You must not underestimate it. He will not leave nor forsake you. Elijah was, in the time of professing the drought, declaring the drought over his land, sent somewhere where there was a brook for him to drink water out of, and then he was supernaturally fed by birds, ravens, twice a day. They fed him. When then the brook ran dry because it was a drought, the Lord sent him to the widow at Zarephath, and after baking a little cake for him, she never ran out of oil from the same vase, or flour from the same vase, and I would imagine as well water from the same cistern. And so Elijah and the widow at Zarephath with her son never died throughout the drought. Where it is, what I'm trying to get at is that where it is that provision in a very providential sense from human beings, where it is that it runs dry, like where it is that the tap no longer has water coming out of it, trust God to make it rain for the day. Trust God to, like I said, make water gush out of a rock. Like it is when, like, miracles happen in the instances like those. Generally, the Lord provides for us very providentially. He will send a donation to you through somebody who cares, or he will give you a job. But when you don't have a job, and when you don't have a donation, and when you can't monetize your YouTube channel, that's when water starts to gush out of rocks. That's when manna starts to fall from heaven. That's when birds start to feed you twice a day. That's when the widow at Zarephath starts to have flour that is bottomless and oil that is bottomless. So essentially, what people have put me in is a season of miracles. You have shoved me and squeezed me neatly into a corner of miracles, where it is that you've taken away all my provision. So now all I can do is just prophesy and declare the goodness of God in providing for me through means that were unexpected. And it is that kind of testimony that crushes the devil underfoot. It is written that we overcome the devil by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Here it is that even though it was rough for me to get what I needed, I have, like I said, my tampons, and I have, like I said, my painkillers. Who would have thought that alpha lipoic acid that I went and grabbed from my mom's wardrobe 2 years ago, when it was at that stage already expired 3 years, that I would one day need it? today, that it would come in handy today, that I would learn that you can cure period pains using ALA. I am the proof. The pudding is there. I found a way out. The Lord will not allow us to be tempted beyond what we are able, but when we are tempted, He will always give us a way out so we can bear up under it. I got my way out. I got my tampons. I got my alpha-lipoic acid. I got my Omni Gold, so that the utterances of demonic suggestion telling me I must settle with a man that wants to give me a disease, even though he knows I know, telling himself that there's only one way out of this, Karabo. Call me, because I'm only one call away. The Lord then is like, tested, like, just research Google. He's the one that is a lamp to my feet. He's the one that gave me the idea to take that bottle of pills and research what it can do. And it worked. It eradicated my pains, my period pains. I don't know when I'm going to get money again, but one thing that is certain is that there will always be water gushing out of a rock, manna falling from heaven, and flour alongside oil being bottomless in my vase. I will keep on getting fed twice a day by the ravens until such time that I finally get a job. I will keep looking, I will keep searching, I will keep job hunting, and men will continue to keep harassing me. And as a black girl, I will continue to keep being ignored by the whole planet, including other black women, until I come out into the sunset, yo. I'm gonna come out into the sunset. This year message is for black women, black girls. Sindawonge, girls, re alone. I'm calling you to be my friend, that we can be each other's friends. We are few and far between. We struggle to find each other that are sober. But if you want to be sober, I am calling you to love Jesus, and He will be the one to lead you into all truth. He will bring better men along than the ones that you are encircled by. Because when you argued with him and you don't have your own apartment. Yeah, these little randos, God will move them out of the way on the left and on the right and create a red sea split for you to pass through, so that you can meet the one black dude that's just not like the rest of them. It's just that these occult practitioners work tooth and nail like dinja to keep us from finding each other. But it is perseverance and long suffering, waiting on God, that will ultimately bear the fruit of you finding your brothers and your sisters, your true ones. Because Momo South Africa's shame, how littered they are. Man, oh man, how busy flailing their hands into man, oh man, how they've made themselves the elder. Man, oh man, how they Sunday school teachers giri asha. Man, oh man, how they are leading Bible study ko mosebetsing in the church, at work le ko matlung a bona. Man, oh man, how they claim to know God, ba rata go bua Christianese. Man, oh man, ba tla ipitsa bazalwane, mara a se ke go rabaza bazalwane ba nnete ka teng, a se ke gore loya ka teng. Jaaka ga go ngotse ko Titus 1:16, by their works they display ukuthi, but they deny Jesus. They say they love the truth, they say they love the Lord, but by their works they are disqualified entirely. They are reprobate. So you can't expect to find them esontweni nje galula ngoba you are there. You also cannot expect to find them nje galula in Bible study, or even online in a forum where you are fellowshipping with saints. To find a true believer in this horrible time of the great apostasy is to be consecrated, prayerful, full of fasting, and waiting until the Lord will draw you guys to each other, in spite of the level of spiritual sabotage that is segregating true saints from finding each other. I told you, in the last days, churches are going to revert back to amandlu, abantu, like the way that it happened in the early church. Tom Hughes likes to say that. We are going to have to fellowship with each other really 5, really 7 fela, because the churches are going to be teeming at the folds with fake believers, false disciples. Everything manyalo a announcewang ba wa tagata, o manyalo le teng a announcewang o one o mo o jitse o mong ka korobela mara o ipitsa mzalwane go jwalo man ke serekisi. So if we are going to find each other, tshwanetse re consecrate. We have got to hold fast to Jesus Christ. We have got to pray, and hanse re eme sebaka se se telle, waiting for answered prayer. Riska fainta like taba rena ke tlhomotswa pelo ka batho. That is evidence of tabar bazalwane, or professing Christians as bazalwane. Ke tlhomela pelo only because people that could have helped me by pitsang bazalwane bang tlogetse re ke tlhokafala. Ke silo in the middle of the road to be rode over by some tracker. Banna ba tshirening have felt entitled to me precisely because professing Christians have just left me out on a limb to pass away. They are everywhere. Batletse Rhema, batletse Grace, batletse Emmanuel Baptist, batletse Rivers, batletse di kereke tse kaofela le di Baptist church. Even if they call themselves Reformed Calvinists, it does not matter. Lantsa ba busy bantsa ba mense Charles Spurgeon 24 hours a day, it doesn't matter. The only way to find a true Christian is to be consecrated, prayerful, full of fasting, and wait. Then only will God gravitate them over to you. Cause kuya tagatwa lai emgaqweni in the black community go loywa mo hara kereke motho o tla go bitsa my sister antsa le busy nye ka di tongues all over the show ha qeta mo ka Wednesday nyavuma pela sangoma o loya lenyalo la hao o loya mpa ya hao o loya ntlu ya hao o loya o latlhegelwa ke mosebetsi o loya maraba yes like it maraga sa ka di tongue twa re shete ka Wednesday ra tu in a public congregation ka Sontaga ha se ke go ntse le bizo gore rava za ka di tongues re sa di tlhaloganye le di tlhaloganye this thing interpreted mara holo ya teng kotsi batuka mollo. They give no incentive to lost souls to turn over to Christ because kaofela batauwe. And so when people from the outside look into Christianity le bona they are like ha gona phomolo mo bona o tauwe jwang ke di serekisi kaofela they are swinging on a chandelier like sia ke di serekisi nje fela ke di papadi 24 hours a day ke di papadi inside these churches. So anarna jaka ga ke le sangoma ke tla re ke etsang ka Jesu jaka ga di papadi ga kana ka mahara kereke. All they do is cause unbelievers to stay unbelieving because they have made the name of God a means for financial gain. Ba tseriane ba tlhorisa bazalwane ba manete and they are separating us from each other. Jaka ga ho tetse di papadi ga kana. You need to wait. Harena protection banyana ba batho ba ntsho shame. Gelzinas, me myself, I've offered friendship and inspire some iskelem ngoba ngisho no mona umana lo wenu that's hard knock purple green it's aketse be color efeng ikhubedu chubedu angazi itala mona wa lona also extreme that ale khono etsa dichomi. That's the thing you need to seek the Lord's face to uproot that gangrene because you're not safe. You are not safe even in the slightest. Or your own best friend uzo gravaza ngemiti to make sure ukuthi you don't get married, and if you get married anyway she will sow discord in your marriage. When you fall pregnant she will make you miscarry. Umngani wakho maqeda ukumiscarry uye ukuvakashela esibhedlela ngama banana and some flowers kunjalo in the black community kuyamoshwa nje kalula. So mona nna onginsekeleleng is because kids I'm msebenzi ona and I'm holding fast to God mara bang patla ka nkano re ke setlele especially basadi so bang tlogetse nje fela re ke lo rabazwa ke banna ba tsheryaneng. You'll need to overcome whatever's going on enhlizweni zenu bafazi bamtamanyama like proper. Herein lies the deal ha letlo ba right because ana motho nang le taba le lona la nkutlwa. Nobody cares, not even you. Nobody care. You don't even care about you. Like black girls, you don't even care about you because you ain't got your own sisters' backs. People like me, razama go create a book like togetherness ya nnete ubuntu bempela abukho. However, cause I inspire some iskelem. It's been 10 years let's buy iskelem saka for ingi ke alezama haleng badly mara ke mo ke protected anyway. Why? Cause I've chosen Jesus. Umona wenu uyanbulalisa indodakazi zenu unbulalisa abo sister benu abo auntie abo khazi females. Umona wenu is causing you to destroy impilo zama friends. However, anisa bloming with each other after ni ravazana ganjani we halisa bloma mo halisa chela mo halisa kopana di lunching ko di primipiating le loyane mo litumpane le tsayetsela ni banna ha botlhoko hampele. So wa discord you are backstabbing mara ga se ke go kopana ko di restauranting le lo break up bread jwang ha se ke go dipitsa di best friends jwang ha se ke go bua maka 24 hours a day o tsubile matekwane o tawisitse ngwana batho ka ditlhare ha go no conceive ngwana wa ipotso what's going on kanti ke mpinja teng. Every Wednesday you have a meeting to go wine tasting mara how di kene taba tsa go thomya hao ebe happy ka nnete a ona njabulo lenyalo wa so wa discord o fleta le monna teng he bathong ha gona maitseo in the black community. Ain't nobody got scruples, so it's fine. Ke tla ba one stocksila lien mara I'm trying to invite you to find protection cause ke mo libula di case go di SAP ebe mamponisa tengi a ignora taba hore ona le di stitches tse ding tse go entseng skobo mona teng a ba tlogela e se boyfriend ga go mara go tumpile. That's what's going on with us. Nobody's taking up our causes. O tla trenda o be le di 2 million views on TikTok and still 702 won't cover your story. Still ENCA won't cover your story. Still Eyewitness News won't cover your story. Still SABC News won't cover your story. Still Expressions won't cover your story. Ha ona motho tlo buanga wena because you're a black woman. Ain't nobody coming for you, girl. You got Christ and Christ only. Jaga khale sa morati modimo le chuzitse di ancestors tsa lona a ke tsebo go lo fella kae ha le ratane ha le ithate modimo is the only one o tlo le vikelang from go jisiwa nkara se batho ha le batho God is the only one, that is going to protect you from izliso, never mind izliso, but sabotage and manipulation by bonke abangani bakho abazozi pride ngendaba yokuthi uyawa, batlo go seba nga o se teng ko society for the week, batlo go nkelang mpa, batlo ravazang ke re lebe ka moso ba bana ba lona, batlo loyang o bo tawe. Ain't nobody gonna protect you, black girl, other than God. Only God can bring you together with another man, with a black man that's just like you. And the two of y'all will protect your black kids. And the two of y'all will have black friends fellowship that God has approved. Labanye, all over the show, all over. Batlabe, batlusitwe, warded off. Like, babitang, what do you call this thing? Sekila bona, this, babitang, you know, this light, that if at all these flies fly too close to it, they are electrocute. It's an insect repellent of sorts. God is the one. Oka go thusang ka le bona le o kontlung. O ra tshirinyana ya o sangana e tshiriane e tlo kena mo bophelong ba gago ipitse mngane. Mara a go lawyer, even though you went to Bible camp 2 weeks ago, you went to a women's conference 3 weeks ago ko kerekeng. Yeah, God is the one o tlo etsang tshiri o re e tsheko le boneng leo. Ebe e tsamaya. O lasted 2 weeks, we get it. O lasted 2 weeks, we get it. Mara at least ga last that jaga ka o fela ntsa le pizza ke na ntlo ya hao, antsa loya borotho ba hao, a loya monna hao, bana, ha ona ntwa sa loyeng, gertene ya gago ena le something yana ya sangoma en gampepho a qeta o kena sisters. O nna ntsa go fa dimpho tsa teng di a loya. Hona le something like familiars ake spirits, hona le di spirits o loya ka gift ka vase. Next thing we go ghost at least good riddance. I got rid of that cousin, good riddance, cause that's what's good. I have an protection where the Lord will burn every man that tries to hook shelanga in sense. Lebona kimo la mo chesa. I have an lebona little chesa cherry pizang zalwan etlo go invite them to church conference. I got them ocha. Like I said, it'll hurt. Because, I mean, girl, how you ghosting me like that? Why are you acting strange? But at least she's not in your life anymore. That's God. You will find out, if you give your life truly to God, you will learn that we're in the last days. That the great apostasy has already happened. It is here. We are close to the rapture. You will learn that not everybody who says to God, Lord, Lord, is truly of the kingdom of heaven. We are in the great falling away. People are departing from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of demons. You will learn. But at least you are consecrated. But you need to learn. You need to realize that the day of the great revival is gone. It's come and it's gone. The day of having 20,000 Christian friends is gone. The day of being safe in a community of Christians is gone. The day of everyone in the church pew where it is that you're sitting being born again is gone. Who are one out of 100 that's truly saved? You will learn the hard way, but at least the Lord will bring just the 1 or 2 or 5 people with whom to fellowship in your home every Wednesday. Remetse rapture rafel tlogelang o zama o fostera didi baby revival. It's not coming, okay? It's not coming. Revival, black girls, just get saved so you will protect yourselves from ending up le tsaetswe ke le di tampon ke di cherry tse batlang go foster o lo qoma tshepo o lo qoma jabu o lo nka engwe le engwe ntwe fitlang mo strateng o lo ba le ngwana out of wedlock batho ba tlo batlang go foster ba batla go gore o nke what you want ka spiti fela. Like quickly settle witchcraft. That's what I called it. Quickly settle witchcraft. In the season of the height of your sorrow, I'm trying to help you guys eradicate, quickly settle witchcraft. It's all over the show. Herein lies the deal. They are exactly like periods. They're like period pains. During the time haba bogile, rearing the ugly heads, gunzima, hutuka mollo, hole botlhoko. You will feel like khofedile. Mara, how kanga grandpanyan, panado, miprodol, ibuprofen, how ka kwanyana compral. Nothing ever happened. And that period that was feeling like a backstreet abortion sterilized, it'll go away as quickly as within 25 minutes, and you will discover that was so quickly curable. It was eradicatable. People perish because of a lack of knowledge. Learn Christ so witches don't become too painful. That's what I'm getting at. Kwenya panado, kwenyang ibuprofen, tsamayang lo lata grandpa. Lo ga ka te ele 38 le re ke tse 20 nje fela Basically, what I'm trying to explain is that develop a discipline of fasting. Once a week, do a 6 to 6. Once a week, fail. Just once a week, 6 to 6. Uskaja breakfast, lunch, and only have dinner. Once a week. Develop that as a discipline. Do you understand? And then chiringana e ya go sangana ya go officing e pitsang mzalwane o fellowship ngwana o tla tsheswa ke le bona. A o thia go shela ka korobela ka nkane o tla tsheswa ke le bona. Monna o sa tsebeng modimo maro e pitsang mzalwana sa di busy re shatete I kense elder go kerekeng. O tsheswa ke le bona. O tsheswa ke le bona. Tsheswa e bathong ke ha le ka lo investor ko ibuprofen la nkutlo. Tsa mo rekang dipilisi. Tsa mo rekang dipilisi bo osi le bo abuti lo nka grandpa because baloyi ke di period pain ba botlhoko and they can make you skip a test. They can floor you mo mpetong. O sa kgone tsoha, o sa kgone o ya sekolong, o sa kgone ngola exam, o sa kgone ho picture in komsebetsing, even though it's perfectly curable. Within 20 minutes of taking a painkiller, that stuff is gone. It's like there's nothing going on. All you have to deal with is nonto change di tempo, nonto change di pads tsa gago, nonto tlhapa 20 ka letsatsi, mara pain is not there. Pain is not there. I'm trying to help you guys find the solution to labatagati. They are all over the show, but those who are with us are more numerous than those who are with them. I'm trying to explain that heaven is more powerful than them. All you need is the ibuprofen of Jesus Christ. Just take Christ, learn the scriptures, and that which is supposed to kill you, you will discover is just a nasty little gnarly cramp in your stomach, but that'll go away very quickly with nothing but a basic over-the-counter, maybe even broad spectrum generic analgesic. All you need is a painkiller. That's it. And the painkiller is Jesus Christ. In conclusion, this is what the Lord has to say. His painkiller. Come to me, all of you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. He is the ibuprofen. Take Jesus so you won't have to ride out the painful insanity of an incarcerating period pain. It's not lethal. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to stop your life dead in its tracks. And you don't have to miss out on anything wonderful in life because of it. They're not the threatening thing that they think they are. They have got a delusion of grandeur. They aggrandize themselves because they have got megalomaniacal intentions. Given that they, like their father the devil, want to exalt themselves above the Most High and be like God. But if you take the ibuprofen, it'll simmer down and you will realize that those who are with you have always been more numerous than those who are with them. Ungasabi, those who can only kill the body and thereafter do nothing. But fear God, who not only can kill the body but cast it into hell too, cast the soul into hell, and then protect you. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and they are safe. 1,000 falls on your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it does not come near you. Jesus Christ is your painkiller. This thing doesn't have to kill you, but during the time when it's wreaking havoc in your life, it feels deadly. Like I said, nkare, it's some botched, unsterilized, backstreet abortion, but it dies within 25 minutes of popping a panado, for crying out loud. You don't have to take these wishes in your stride. You don't. I hope you've been edified. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Cran K. Peace.